What's up YouTube? Well, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be speaking about having your Sun opposite your partner's Venus in synastry. So with the Sun being opposite your partner's Venus here, this is making a straight line between the two planets, and that is an opposition, which is a challenging or hard aspect to have in synastry. And it can be that there can be conflict and there can be some tension between the two partners, and that is how they grow in this relationship, is through getting through any kind of tensions or conflicts within their relationship. Because there's opposing energies, and they're going to need to work out or learn and come to learn to balance out the energies between them. And with the synastry, can feel a lot like opposites attract, and that is because of the natural polarity between the two partners' energies that need to be reconciled. And in the positive, those very contrasting qualities that they have and bring to the table can really complement each other, but they can also be a push-pull kind of dynamic between the two partners, where it can feel like they're challenging each other. Like the way that the Sun is being expressed is being challenged by the way that the Venus in the other person is being expressed, which may require some work along the lines, and can also be an opportunity for them to experience growth in their relationship in that way, because ultimately they are really being refined in these things through responses to each other. Because it is a 180-degree angle, making that straight line, they can be so opposite they could see a mirroring effect happening here. They can see certain traits in each other that are actually hidden aspects of themselves. And with this synastry and that mirroring effect that an opposition can bring between two people, it can also bring that opportunity for having a lot of hidden issues brought up to the surface in their relationship. And while it can at times feel frustrating or challenging dealing with the other person in this way, they could also be really dealing with a reflection of themselves that they see in their partner, and there could be that opportunity for them to be able to confront certain parts of their own personality through its relationship with someone else. So when it comes to having your Sun opposite your partner's Venus, with these two energies, you have the Sun, which is very much ego, and it's a very masculine energy, can also be very much identity and the core self, and Venus, which is love and beauty, and especially harmony. And the Sun person and the Venus person can really help each other in the sense that the Sun person can bring out certain qualities in the Venus person, and the Venus person can also bring out some beneficial qualities in the Sun person. And both the Venus person and the Sun person can really find very appealing the energies that play out for the Sun person and the Venus person. And they can be very drawn to each other. They can be strong attraction. And with the synastry, it's going to be like opposites attract, because the Sun person can be very drawn towards the Venus-like qualities in the Venus person, like that more harmony, charming, and diplomatic energy can be something that the Sun person can be very attracted to or find appealing in their Venus partner. And for the Venus person, they can be very attracted to or drawn to the Sun person for their more confidence and way of asserting their individuality and expressing their energy. That can be something that can be very appealing and drawing in the Venus person to the Sun person here. And in fact, in this relationship, what can happen is that they can bring out those qualities in each other. The Sun person can bring out the more confident side of the Venus person. They can bring them out of their shell, whereas the Venus person can also encourage the side of the Sun person that values diplomacy and even compromise and harmony when it comes to relating with other people. And the attitudes can also be used in other ways, like the way that they're expressing themselves, presenting themselves in the world and in life in general. But it is still an opposition, and that's making it a challenging aspect or hard aspect. And this means that there can be conflict and tension in their relationship. And this could come from how the Sun person can be more dominant and can also be more self-focused, whereas the Venus person is more concerned with harmony, and being able to maintain that harmony can at times make the Venus person come across as too passive for the Sun person, and they could clash in this way. And the Venus person is going to have to learn how to assert their needs in this relationship with the Sun person, while on the other hand, the Sun person might also need to learn to bend when it comes to things like harmony and being able to compromise with the Venus person in this relationship. And in a way, the Sun person by default with the Venus person is able to take a lead in this relationship, because the Venus person is more compromising and agreeable. So if the Sun is in, say, the 7th house, then the Sun person might be the one who's really driving the relationship side of this relationship, and it could be based off of what the Sun person wants, because the 7th house has to do with relationships and partnerships, for example, and the same can apply with any other house. But when it comes to the Sun and Venus in an opposition, we're dealing with feminine energy and masculine energy. And those two energies can be very much at a polarity, which is why they can be very complementing energies too in this relationship, no matter how different they are. With them potentially coming from two different perspectives, they can really be able to help each other when it comes to being able to see each other's blind spots. And this can be great when it comes to problem solving and when it comes to things like being able to create something and working together or collaborating together, which is how they can come to actually really appreciate each other's different perspectives and learn a lot from each other when trying to integrate them. In the positive, the Sun person actually brings a lot of excitement and a lot of energy to the Venus person's life, which the Venus person can really appreciate about the Sun person in this relationship. However, in the negative, they can feel very pressured by the Sun person and feel like they're not living up to the Sun person's expectation if they're not moving at the Sun person's expected pace, or especially when it comes to them perhaps clinging to a comfort zone. Another thing in the negative is how perhaps the Sun person wants to be able to experience feelings of recognition, admiration, and be able to shine. And that can also frustrate the Venus person in this relationship, who could be more concerned with harmony and can feel like it's disrupting the chances of having a more stable and peaceful connection with the Sun person. They could actually feel a little bit overshadowed by the Sun person in this relationship at times. They can even feel frustrated from feeling ignored by the Sun person's relationship, making their feelings for the Sun person a little bit of mixed, between feeling challenged and also feeling very attracted to the more charismatic and confident, passionate, and able to take charge side of the Sun person. And so they could feel a lot of admiration for the Sun person, but they could want a more balanced connection out of their connection with the Sun person as well. Whereas on the other hand, the Sun person can be very attracted to the Venus person for their beauty, their way of moving in a way that's very graceful and good as far as the social ease of it all, especially because they can be quite diplomatic and quite charming when it comes to these things. The Sun person can really appreciate that or find that very attractive in the Venus person. But at the same time, they can also feel like they can come across as being passive, which can be something that might frustrate the Sun person, who is more likely seeking a sense of adventure with the Venus person. And they could feel like that is at odds with the Venus person, who wants a more balanced connection and wants to be able to have more peace, more harmony, and more comfort. And so emotionally, there's a part of the Sun person that they can feel like is not reciprocated with the Venus person, even though they can appreciate how the Venus person really softens any kind of rough edges that the Sun person may have. And what can really be challenging with this synastry is how they can feel very unappreciated, especially if they're not working on that in this relationship, because of their differences. And there's going to be a need for being able to learn and be able to see each other's different perspectives that they're coming into this relationship with. because they can have different priorities, and that can lead to some clashes in their relationship with each other. And it can be a lot of conscious effort that needs to be put into the relationship with each other to find common ground. Like things like being able to meet each other halfway, and also being able to hear out each other's different perspectives and be able to find and see the value in it as well. Well, that does it for this video on having your sun opposite your partner's Venus in synastry. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you found it helpful and you enjoyed it. And if you did, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe to this channel for more videos. Well, that is where I love and leave you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye guys.